It's official. Harry and Meghan are heroes. We've got it all wrong. They've been given a Human Rights Award for their heroic stand against structural racism in the British monarchy. The award is called the Ripple of Hope, awarded by the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Organisation. That's the same Bobby Kennedy, who was a genuine hero. Well, I'm joined now by Talk TV contributor Paula Rowan-Adrian, Talk TV presenter Richard Tice, political commentator Jenny Kleeman. All right, Jenny. Heroes, apparently, for trashing their families on national television repeatedly, and they're about to do it again in a documentary series, about to do it again in Harry's book, for trashing their families with unsubstantiated smears about being cruel and racist and so on. They're heroes, and they're literally being put on the same pedestal at this Robert F. Kennedy Foundation Awards night in December with Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, saving his people almost single-handedly in terms of his morale boosting from the hordes from Russia. Have I gone nuts? Is this happening?
I think this is a pretty strange award. I looked it up on my way here.
It's even broken you.
The MC is Alec Baldwin,
who's facing potential criminal charges
I would have to say,
after he shot somebody.
Exactly. So I would say this is a pretty strange event. It's a pretty strange award. It's got a fancy name on it. I think what this shows is two things. One, how awards don't really mean very much because they can be quite strange and you never know who's on the panel judging you. The other thing is, I think, they're seen differently in America to how they're seen here. I know I've been in America. There's a lot more sympathy for Meghan than there is
Actually, it's
here.
a lot less than there used to be even there.
A lot less than there used to be.
I think the liberal elite like to buy them with these awards because they get huge attention. I mean, Richard, isn't this really the worst aspect of celebrity, which is they've made themselves famous with all the trashing they've been doing? And as a result, the liberal elite in America want to be associated with them because they'll get huge publicity for their events.
But it's worse than that, Piers, because actually we now know, and you identified it early doors, that the accusations that she levelled against the royal family were false.
Yes.
And so they'd be given an award for something that is basically false. And therefore, in my view, the award itself is fraudulent.
I completely agree. And the worst thing, Paula, about this, Robert Kennedy was a genuine hero. Yes. I mean, he fought so hard for civil rights, against poverty, against the Vietnam War. He worked alongside Dr. Martin Luther King till they both got assassinated. This is real heroism that he was up to. For this foundation, and this is one of his daughters who runs it, Kerry Kennedy, I think it's completely shameless and shameful.
Can I start by saying that, yes, you're right, you have lost your mind. This is about an institution, a very renowned institution, that has decided to give an award to two people who they think are deserving. They have their own policies and procedures and practices in place, which they have considered and tested and decided that Harry and Meghan deserve this award. Now, why don't they deserve this award?
Manure. The whole thing.
Who says they don't deserve the award? You say they don't deserve the award.
For taking on structural racism in the royal family.
That exists.
Really? Where?
That exists.
Where?
And where we say that it's not been proven yet, of course, we know how difficult it is to deal with the issue of racism. We know how much harder it is to deal with the fact that we're talking about an institution.
She said that their son had not been made a prince because of his skin colour. Completely untrue. Absolute lie. She also said that several times a member of the royal family expressed concern about the skin colour of their child. And then Harry said it happened once 2 years previously. They couldn't even get the story right. And they've never named who that person is. I've even been told by one person it wasn't even a member of the royal family. Yet the whole family gets smeared as a bunch of callous racists.
I don't think that's actually right. I think happened is that they have raised the issue of racism and they have made the British public, they've made the institution that is the royal family confront the issue of racism.
No, they haven't. They have fraudulently accused the royal family of being a bunch of callous racists. And there's no evidence.
Where does the issue of fraud come into
Where
this?
is the evidence of the racism?
Where does the issue of fraud come into this? They are
Where's the
speaking
evidence
about
of them being
their
racist?
truth, and they are saying to you, we have suffered this.
What's their truth? There's either the truth
There's
or
no
the
such
falsehood.
thing as their truth. That's another ridiculous phrase.
You say
my truth. What's my truth?
Your truth is
truth
your lived
facts.
experience.
No, it's
lived
not.
Experience.
No, it's not
and
lived experience.
The fact that you are getting so angry about this is how we feel. We, as I'm talking about, members of the community who've suffered racism.
Right.
It's so hard to express that lived experience. It's so hard to express that truth because we're
They
not
haven't had any lived experience.
What we're told is that we're being fraudulent in when we're expressing that.
So why aren't you as angry as I am about these two people who've issued untrue statements about racism that have not been proven? and have now got some people in America thinking the royal family is a bunch of racists.
You can't have an untruth statement that's not been proven. It's their truth.
Well,
and I appreciate...
Their truth is meaningless.
And I appreciate there's been no tribunal of
Well, it's
fact.
like me saying, all right, it's like me saying...
I appreciate that.
Me saying, I think you are a deeply unpleasant piece of work, right? I think you're a well-known cocaine abuser. You're not, as far as I'm aware, right? But it's my truth. I believe that.
Yes.
So because I believe it, that's it. You must now, unfortunately, be saddled with the reputation of being
No.
a drug abuser.
No.
What do you say to me?
I would challenge that.
It's my truth.
I would challenge
I don't care
that.
if you're challenging me. It's
I
my
would
truth.
challenge it.
It's
and
my truth.
And I would...
My lived experience is I think you are.
I would challenge that.
My lived experience is I think you are.
What Harry and Meghan have done at every opportunity that they've got, they challenged it, and they challenged it through the courts, and they were successful.
Challenge what?
So in terms
No, they
of...
haven't. They haven't. They've
in
sued
terms of
newspapers over
when-
stories. They've not challenged anything about the racism.
So when they've had an opportunity, as I've said, to challenge accusations that have been levied at them in the press, they've taken that. They've challenged it. So
Look,
where
let's
is
move-
your challenge, Piers?
My
Where
challenge is
your
I think they're
challenge?
telling a pack
It's
of
to
lies
shout-
and-
It's to shout abuse and to call them frauds.
No, it's not. I think they are
If-
frauds.
Let's say we agree to disagree. It's not proven. Let's say that actually it might have happened, it might not. The last thing you do for some award ceremony for such an esteemed foundation as this is to make your decision when it hasn't been proven.
Right.
You know, they should have waited and waited, and in the horrific instance that it was proven, that's a whole different ballgame.
Let's see the evidence.